Welcome, fellow YouTubers. So today I want to try and get this rusty 37 Ford a front suspension fitted to, so I can start planning to do the rear suspension afterwards, but not in the same video, and get this car to be a roller so I can work on this thing better. I know it's a rusty pile of 37 Ford, but we love them all. Okay, first things first, let's get the centers of this front suspension. Get chalk and everything. Okay, 390, so 390 is gonna be 195. Just get that 195 straight. Okay, and then to double make sure, we'll use it on 10. It's 45. 45 is 22.5. Perfect. All right. The suspension also prior, I already set it up, so we've got our 7 degrees laying backwards, like you can see on the bubble. There we go, that's level. We've got about our 7 degrees laying backwards, and she is also level. Also, I've already leveled out the car, like you can see the bubble is in the center, and I leveled the whole chassis as well, just to show you. I think I did it this side, yeah, just to show you the chassis is level. Okay, so now that we've got our center and our angle for our shocks and our rake, now we can use this, just get our bubble center and the center. Okay, we mark. Chalk doesn't like tire that much, does it? Okay, and we'll do the same other side. All right, let me just get a piece of line or straight edge. I think I've got a straight edge, and then the other. Just see. There we go. There we go. Okay, now let's determine our center part. Let me just put a brick somewhere on top of this thing to hold it down. Okay. Let me see. Yes. This is how we want it. Level. And level. Then we want to pop it with our center punch, because that's our mark for our center for our suspension. That's the mark we're going to use to line it up with the front chassis. Okay. I'm going to extend the line up now to that part. I just want to mark it. Then I'm going to use my rule just to extend it up. Because the point is to get the chassis perfectly center with the suspension and at the right angle for handling. There we go. Now we got our marks. Now let's determine, because I know I'm going to have to take all this off, clean this chassis. I've got to determine how far. And then we'll probably lay the chassis on top of this frame to see how much we want to chop and mark it out. But first things first. Oh yeah, let me quickly determine the center of the car. These Fords, they were easy. As your bump stop was here and center of your axle, because the spring was here, that will be your center. So all we've got to do is mark it from there. Just get that bubble perfectly center. There we go. Just get top. Right. Let me just sort this out. Punch it, because that is our center line for our wheels, for our axle basically. This is where our axle is gonna sit on the car. And then we'll clean this up later after welding this, like we did previously with this frame, and paint it nicely. Like you can see here, this was still from previous. We cleaned this frame and painted. We didn't do this because I knew I'm gonna have to do some welding here and repairs. Okay, I'm gonna have to lob off everything in the front here, including this cross member, because I'm gonna use this cross member, which strangely is the same as that. When you measure it precisely the same, I can't believe that. But okay, let me get cracking on cutting all this unnecessary stuff off, because we're in fact upgrading it from the old Ford suspension. I know solid axles, they aren't that bad, but I prefer this. That's rotten. Rotten. We chop everything. like as dampers as, which is stuffed anyway, as well we'll never use again, not on here. So we'll end up replacing it with shocks that you'll have in here. I also want to say, man, I'm envious of my friend Uncle Div from Rat Rods for Africa on that sweet little 36 Chevy he got. That coupe, man, that's a nice car to have. Let me carry on here. I'm gonna chop all these rivets, knock them through like so. Let me show you guys what I mean. And then I'll just fix this after I've put this chassis. I guess they're in there after 90 plus years. We'll drill them out. Actually, almost 90 years. Not my older car. Okay. Let's see. Grind these rivets off. Take that off so it doesn't interfere with my chassis, my front piece of chassis subframe. People ask me why I cut everything with a grinder when your bolts look like that and you don't even know what size it should be anymore because it deteriorated so much. It's easier to just cut. Let me do this. Let me also chop out this cross member. Let me see how I'm gonna chop it. I think this is gonna be easier now. Okay, let me take this out of my way first. Let me go this side. Okay, now that I've got this part cleaned up, I need to get it on top of this and trace it out according to that. Also center this first and get it on its position. Okay, let me just move this so I can get my engine crane in to pick up the front of this car. Actually, let me jack it up with my gearbox jack at the bottom there. Alright, now we laid it on top of the subframe. I can mark where I want to chop, and I can mark and chop everything I need to chop. I'm gonna chop it out so I can lay this inside. I think I need to go fetch my bigger scribe to mark. Let me just make sure our chassis is sitting in the center of this before I mark. 18, 18, 18. Okay, perfect. That's perfect. And this is lined up with that line. This is lined up with that line. Perfect. Let me mark it and chop it out. I want to chop it like a channel so I can rest the chassis in. I'm not going to chop off a chassis because I believe in the strength in not welding these old chassis, because these old rusty old chassis I don't want to take chances with to weld them up. And I'll lob this off here as well. So let's carry on from there. I'm just going to take this, scratch it. Good. Scratch it good. And scratch it good. Also this side. So I know where to put it, and then I want to cut it according to the height of this chassis. And I like the angle it's laying backwards. That is about 7 to 12 degree. That's perfect. That's all to do with handling and braking. You don't want it too much either, but that's it. Let me just see how far can I get away with this. Well, if I chop it like that, I can pretty much get this almost all the way in here. Okay, that's a big chop. Alright, let me get this off the chassis again. And we take it from there. Just put a piece of threaded rod through here so that I can just pull this together, as this is going to be a bit of a wicked cut, and I don't want this suspension to collapse on itself with the spring pressure involved. We'll do the other side as well before we cut. Okay. The big piece of plates just to stop it from going through the hole. No relevance at all. Okay, Let me quickly pull this thing, just giving it enough tension, because I don't want this thing to collapse on itself, like I said. Just pulling it some, don't have to pull it down all the way. Just hold it at the bottom, spanner. Okay, that's it. I'll do the other side the same, and then we'll continue to cut this. Alright, now that I've taken some pressure off the suspension, let me chop it and see how it goes from there. Let me move this so I can chop it easier this way around with this big machine. Yes. Just making sure of my markings. Okay, you pick it up again, and we go this side. Gonna be fun. Just get a trestle underneath this. Just check it out. Yes, that is how we're gonna cut it. I've got a choice. I think I'm gonna lop this off and redo it anyway. Or I can just cut it through and bend it. We cut it through, it's shorter. Not gonna be that easy at this angle, but we can try. Right. Where's my mark? Ah, there's my mark. It's a bit hot. I'll take it off now. Right. Get my baby grinder so I can get into the smaller areas of this. Gonna have to chop this a couple of places because it's got a piece of metal on the inside. Quickly lop that off. You quickly just lop this piece off so I can get underneath and actually cut out the main I need to cut out, as this is going to become part of this chassis and we're going to full weld. I don't need that inner support really, as the chassis is going to be that support. Right, one side done, now right hand side. I'm gonna lob this off also. Okay, now that I've chopped it, I need to put it back underneath the car and lower the car and see how she sits. After I tacked it in place and welded it, I can lob off the front parts, because this is actually the main part we want. And I might upgrade to a steering rack on this. Now let me quickly just drop this down onto the suspension, see how it fits. Then we'll probably grind clean and all that stuff. You'll ask me why I chose this suspension. Well, this suspension has got ventilated disc brakes and everything. And safety is a key thing, especially when you build old cars and old rods. Let me quickly just knock it a bit back. Yeah, I need to go quite a bit. Anyway, safety is a key part. You need to be able to stop. And it needs to handle good. Just get it on its marks. This side also. Bit more. And then we'll drop it down fully. See how nicely it fits. I just need to drop down a bit. There we go. Bit more, bit more. Okay, perfect. It's down all the way. Now I just need to finalize. This mark is 2 mil out. This mark is about 5 mils out. Just get it there. Let's just move it a bit. Perfect. You see this side. There we go. Perfect. Now I can just quickly lift it up, grind it clean, and tack it. As for this, I'm gonna have to chop this. Now you see why I had to remove the steering box as well. I'll make another plan with the steering. Alright, now that I've got all this tack welded in place, let me make sure of my measurements. 480. 480. Perfect. Got it perfect. Okay. Next thing to do, probably lob that off on the sides. And I'll get the nose on, but that's for another show. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you. Please like and subscribe for more content on my rusty old cars. Peace out, everybody.